Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life.
Hats?
Brendo, how are you, man?
Good, mate. What's going on?
What is going on? I see Do Kwon has just been issued with a arrest, a warrant out for his arrest in South Korea. That's what's going on. And the merge has just happened. But fortunately, we're not here to talk about any of that. We're here to talk about Bitcoin.
Yep.
And we have a guest.
We do have a guest.
Are you going to try or am I?
You try.
Okay, I'm going to give it a go. Abhilash Nair.
Yeah,
how did I go with that? But we're going to go with, there's a Scottish guy trying with the name, but we're going to go with Abby. Is that okay?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yep.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Are you in India? I didn't actually, we didn't ask that before we came on. You are in India just now?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
The connection is actually really good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
What's the time with you? We're okay? You'll be a little bit behind us, I guess.
I did not understand that last comment.
Sorry, what time of day is it with you?
Oh, the time is 3 p.m. over here.
3 p.m. Okay.
So he's
yeah,
already
it's
struggling with your accent, mate.
Everybody struggles with the accent.
Before we came on, Abby goes, I love the Scottish accent. I'm like, yeah, good luck for the next hour, mate. See how you go.
Oh, this is my life.
And you know, Graham Norton show, right? Love the bits when Michael Fassbender and all, they show up, and David Tennant shows up, and then they have a proper English actor and a Scottish person and people from Wales, and then they all go on accent. So yeah, it has been one of the favorites.
What's really weird in Scotland is that you can literally go about 20, 30 miles and the accent can kind of change completely. Whereas I don't know about India, but in Australia you can kind of go from Sydney to Perth. It's not a whole.
Oh no!
The Aussies take exception to this. Like, but my accent's way
better.
You've
definitely got different. Like
it's country and city.
No, well, there's Queensland's got more of a kind of real ocker drawl.
Yeah.
You got New South Wales, Sydney's kind of a bit more, I guess, uppity, and then you got the wankers in Victoria that are all hipsters and
then Adelaide's all the free settlers. So but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is it like in India? I don't know. Like accent wise, does it change massively depending on where you are?
So accent changes every 20 kilometers. The language changes every 100. So
as little as that. Yeah, right.
Yep. It's almost as big as Europe, the country. If I haven't looked it up whether it's relatively smaller or relatively bigger, but it's massive. We've got literally, I'm not even kidding you. There are hundreds of languages and thousands of dialects.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And like 1 billion people, right? So
more.
More than 1 billion now. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So where do we start?
I don't know.
Let's do a bit about. Brendo and I have done a pod for about a year now, and the original intention with the pod was, what was the intention?
Fuck if I know.
But we wanted to. There's a lot of content that comes out of the States, which I'm sure you listen to as well, and it's great. But it can get very insular is maybe not the right word, but it can be very American focused, right?
Centric, yeah.
American centric, which is totally understandable. But obviously, we're in Australia. I'm Scottish, so we were keen to have a voice that was sort of a bit different, but also speak to people from other places as well. To bring out, because Bitcoin's for everyone. So to speak to people from all over and just get a perspective on get their perspective. But since we started, obviously time difference and whatnot, our focus has somewhat become a bit more Australian than we intended, just because of time difference and difficulties. But just recently we spoke to Merrick from Merrick's Merrick's Dabbling Path.
Yep.
And he suggested speaking to you guys at one of you guys from Hexa, and he gave us your name, and you kindly said you'd come on. So tell us what you do.
Love him. Yeah,
he's a good guy.
No, that was all I was going to say. Is what do you do at Hex? What is Hexa Wallet, and what do you do there?
Yeah, well, first of all, if there is something negative to a tip of a hat, that to the Hex coin, which has ruined our name, unfortunately. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
I wasn't going to bring that up,
we
but thanks for saying that.
yeah, we know it. We know it. We are aware. We've been made aware time and time and time again. With every new release, we are told, yeah, all that is fine, but your name sucks.
yeah.
So,
That's
yep,
frustrating.
we
Which came first? I'm guessing Hexa came first.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it came first, but the coin unfortunately refuses to die. So
Yeah.
that's where that is. But yeah, coming back to your question, Hats. Hexa is a proper Bitcoin only self custody wallet. So it is as Bitcoiny as a Bitcoiner would expect. So yeah, none of the crypto shit, none of the centralization shit with us. So as it's being built by plebs. We are all plebs here. Uh, Completely subscribe to the Bitcoin ethos. So that is what with which we are building Hexa.
Um, and the business. So tell me the difference between BitHyve and where
Hmm.
BitHyve is the business and Hexa is a product within that business,
Yeah,
right? Can you tell me
yeah,
a little bit
yeah,
about how
yeah.
that relationship works as well,
Sure,
please?
sure, sure. So the name of the company is BitHyve, and it is registered. In fact, it is registered in the UK.
Okay.
And Hexa is our first product that we launched, and it came out sometime in 2018, and we've had several iterations of it. Uh, Tremendous learning. It has been a path of steep learning. And so initially we started off with Hexa Wallet itself having, being chock full of lots of features such as different methods of backing up the wallet, uh, features wherein people could run campaigns and raise donations. And we had a multi-sig in the wallet. There is Lightning in the wallet as well. There was a single sig account as well. And then we realized that okay, this is becoming an everything for everyone product, which is never a good way to go about it.
Mm.
So and it took us a long time. It took us about 2.5 years to come to this realization. And now what we are doing is we have split open Hexa into three products basically. And so Hexa now is becoming a very stripped down version of what it used to be. And we are launching two other products. They would be out in a couple of months. One is purely focused on helping people raise donation in sats. So it would have features wherein if someone wants to donate fiat but the campaigner wants to receive sats, they would be able to do that.
Okay.
So
Great.
that is yeah, that is one feature that app could have. It's called Pledge. We are calling it Pledge. So more would be coming out on that in a couple of months. So that is one offshoot of Hexa. The another one is something that we are calling Keeper, and Keeper is an air gapped vault. Essentially, this is for proper plebs, people who have been in the Bitcoin ecosystem, understand Bitcoin, who care deeply about their privacy, who care about inheritance of their Bitcoin, right? So this is a product that we are building with that community in mind. So proper multi-sig, uh, uh, BIP85 is supported, things like that. So
So
a lot,
sorry,
lot many things happening.
that's an actual hardware device.
No.
It,
It is an app.
it
It
is
will
still an
you'll
app.
be able to run. Yeah, it is an app. You will have it in your phone.
Gotcha.
So sorry, how does
Yeah.
that work? How the air gap kind of concept though, if it's an app?
I would have loved to explain it further, deeper, but I'm
Yep.
not a tech person, so
Oh,
I
okay,
won't
okay.
be able to venture that deep.
Yep.
But I could definitely put you in touch with the devs of the company, the CEO of the company. They would definitely be able to
Yep.
go a lot deeper on that front. Excuse me, guys, for that. I'm
No,
not
no,
there
no.
yet.
All good. All good. So how long has Hexa actually been around?
The company started off in 2000. Most Bitcoiners' journey, right? It starts off from the crypto ecosystem, and then it starts getting into Bitcoin only. So the same has been the journey for the CEO himself, Anand Tapadia. And so it started off as a thought experiment, obviously taking into consideration cryptos. Very soon it became, so this is 2015.
Yep.
Very soon he was clear enough that Bitcoin only is the only way. So by the time it was 2018, the MVP and all. So around 2018 it was MVP. Around 2019, we were building 0. 0.1, 0.2, things like that. By the time it was 2020, we launched a Hexa 1.0. So now it is in the series of 2 points and some change.
Yep.
But it was always the
Yeah.
intention to build a product for consumers. It wasn't just building something for yourselves, or so.
No, it was always the intention was to help with Bitcoin adoption, help
Yeah.
with Bitcoin, building a very easy on ramp to the Bitcoin ecosystem, having a good UX. So initially, the thought was to have a so this is something that we looked at Hexa internally, to have a banking app like app, but for Bitcoin.
Yep.
So a banking app has got pleasing UX. It's all click click click, and you're moving forward through the user flow basically. So that was the idea. It continues to be, but yeah, we are very clear that we want to facilitate Bitcoin adoption for. So see, there are two categories of people before they become Bitcoiners. One is no coiners, and one is the crypto curious people,
Mm. Yep.
right? So it is with the help of Bitcoiners that we want to reach out to crypto curious, because crypto curious are they do not understand the difference between Bitcoin and shitcoins, and why is it that we go all out. We are like people possessed,
Mm-hmm.
and
And but
why is
and also, why should they to begin with? Why should they?
yep.
If it's presented in a way that's all mainstream media and regulators are presenting cryptocurrencies, and that is
Yeah.
the catch-all term that they're all using. Why would anybody believe that Bitcoin is anything? It's just one of these things that you
Yeah.
could choose, and it's all part of the same group, and it isn't part of the same group. But why would anybody think otherwise until you've learned a little bit? So.
Yeah, yeah. So we wanted to facilitate Bitcoiners to have conversation with their no coiner friends, with their no coiner friends and family, with their crypto curious friends and family members, and say, hey, here is a wallet. Check it out, take it for a spin. And we have built corresponding features into it. Like for example, we've got a gifts feature wherein for example, Brendan wants to onboard someone onto the Bitcoin ecosystem. He creates a gift of gift is basically sats. We've attached a theme to it. You can simply say welcome. You can say uh, uh, happy birthday. You can say Merry Christmas, etc., etc., and send out this gift. And when someone clicks on that link, that theme with its bells and whistles pops open, and it helps someone set up the wallet. And voila, someone has $10 in their checking account ready, or $100, whoever, whatever amount that the friend has sent. So they can start playing around with it,
Yeah.
while at the same time it is self custody. Whoever this friend is, they are having that $10 to themselves. It's not at some exchange. It is there. They can send it, they can talk about it. They can back up their wallet using seed words and things like that. They can get a hands on feel. So that is what we wanted to enable.
So, excuse my ignorance for a second. Then, would that be I would transfer, or Brendo would transfer some of his Bitcoin that he has into Hexa Wallet and then gift out from there, or is it something that you can purchase and you guys actually? I don't. Do you provide an exchange functionality as well, or is that
Yes,
within
yes,
that? Sorry,
yes,
excuse me, I didn't know
yes,
that. So
yes, we
somebody
do.
could
Yes, we do.
actually physically buy a gift from Hexa, but that would be converted into Sats and then sent to an
No,
individual that
not
you're.
physically, not physically. So okay. So two things, right? One is you have Bitcoin from wherever, right?
Yep.
Let's say you have 100,000 sats in one of the single sig accounts, right?
Yep.
You brought it in from anywhere. A friend sent it to you, like the the usual medium of sending and receiving,
Yep.
scanning a QR or a Bitcoin address, things like that, right? So you have 100,000 sats with you. You can create a gift out of those 100,000 sats. There is a purchase functionality as well. So Swan, we have Swan with us. So user can
Yeah.
purchase using Swan. So
Gotcha.
Swan, Ramp, and Wire, these are the three exchanges that we are currently, we have associated with the wallet, partnered with. So plebs can purchase sats within the wallet, right from within the wallet. They have to do their, unfortunately, the KYC and all that shit happens on those platforms.
So,
But once,
sorry,
yeah,
I'm just messing. So,
sure.
let's say I have a Swan account. I would just integrate that Swan account with my Hexa wallet. Is that what you're saying? It's not that I don't do it all within the Hexa wallet. And you use the functionality of Swan. It's that I actually have a Swan account, and that's integrated with Hexa. Is that what we're saying? Yeah.
Yep,
Gotcha.
yep. And your auto DCA can start coming into your Hexa wallet.
So essentially, somebody's doing an auto DCA of, I don't know, $10 a week, and
Yeah.
on Swan, but it never actually sits with Swan. It just immediately flips itself into Hexa and on somebody's private keys.
Yes,
Cool.
yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed too, you've got like a test net or a test account in the wallet, which
Yep,
is a cool feature. So you can muck around with kind of pretend sats just to have a go. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's one of our most polarizing features. People
don't like it.
people yeah. So we get absolute polar opposite responses to it. Why is it that you need a test account? Oh, we love the test account. So yeah.
I like the
But
concept
that helps.
for normies
Yeah.
or newcomers. Yeah.
So here's what I think about testnet. Testnet is great, and everybody should be doing it. But unfortunately, I think that most people that use testnet are actually people who have learned quite a bit about Bitcoin and now are trying something new and then are just doing it through testnet. It's not like, I don't think there's that many, maybe I'm wrong, but that many people say, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to not buy some Bitcoin, and I'm going to use a test and work out if I can work all these services first before I actually go and get some. It's like they've got the bug to go get some finally.
Yeah.
And they want to buy real stuff. It's like, I don't know, I want to buy some bread. But I desperately need a sandwich.
Yeah.
I'll go buy some test bread to
bread.
see if I know. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
But would it not be something that's kind of valued by developers and stuff
Oh,
to muck
hugely.
around with their products and all that kind of stuff?
but that's what I mean. It almost requires. We could be wrong here. It almost like requires the knowledge before you start using the test net.
So here is the thing. So here is the conversation to be had. You're a proper Bitcoiner. You know how wallets work, right? You have someone who has no clue how a wallet works. So the discussion, this is the intention, right, of having the test account within the wallet. That hey, here is Hexa Wallet. Download it. There is something that called a test account over there. Take it for a spin. Spend time within the test account, right? So what happens is someone who's absolutely new to Bitcoin sees that there is it comes with 10,000 test sats preloaded, so they don't have to do anything. So they can send those sats to someone. They can the gears in the head that starts spinning, and they literally cannot go wrong with it. They cannot do anything that would that would cause them to lose their Bitcoin, because it's, after all, testnet sats.
Got you. But people use it. People are. Have you any visibility on how many people, when they first step into the app, go to testnet?
Not within. We do not have visibility into, okay, this person hung around this particular single sig account for 3 hours time or 3 minutes time or 30 seconds time. No, so we are properly self custodial. We are not doing custodial shit.
I guess so. The functionality, the multiple functionality. I'm just trying to work through the process that's happened there. So having all of the additional functionality is wonderful, but when you're first when somebody first drops into Bitcoin and first has their first sats on Lightning or something like that, it's very the whole thing is difficult, right? It's not if you've been around for years, it's not difficult. But if you haven't, the whole idea is difficult. So you kind of have to. I can understand why you're now looking at splitting things out, because that Bitcoin has taken a lot of, I say, Bitcoin, but it's taken a lot of flack because the user experience wasn't good enough. But then if you drop something in that is really polished and really, really good, it's also incredibly complicated for people, because there's so much functionality there, and you have to, like, where do you start? Is that what's happened? And now you're just stripping it back to something that's really simple.
Okay, so let me answer that in two ways. One is I'll stay within the test account for a little bit, and then I'll come out of it to answer this particular question of yours. So let's break down the test account itself, right? It has got test sats which replicate real sats. One, so that is visible over there. That okay, this is how many sats you have. This is how real Bitcoin would look in your single sig wallet. Number one. There is a send receive address. There is a Bitcoin address. Obviously, it's a testnet address, right? So people can experiment within and be assured that this is exactly how the mainnet works. There, you can scan QRs, you can send and receive Bitcoin addresses, you can and you can actually receive test sats as well into the wallet, right? So there is you as a user who doesn't have any initiation into Bitcoin, I would still not end up harming myself or losing my Bitcoin, etc., etc.
Yep.
So that is the lowdown on the testnet. Coming back to the question that you posed, there is a spectrum of Bitcoiners, right? Obviously, it starts off from no coiners. There are the crypto bros. Then there are people who start seeing sense in Bitcoin, slowly start dabbling in, putting in the perennial 100 hours or 1,000 hours, studying, learning, researching. Their confidence grows, so it goes from $10 to $100 to $500, however, right? And initially we had a multi-sig account. We used to call it savings account, and that was supposed it had 2FA enabled and things like that, neat features. And we experienced that these things were not being used as much as we would have liked to, as much as we would have hoped. Like, for example, we would want people to properly secure their Bitcoin, properly back up their wallet, properly shift their Bitcoin from their single sig wallet to their multi sig wallet, 2 of 3 or 3 of 5, right? That
Yeah.
wasn't happening all that much. At the same time, those features were appreciated. So we knew that definitely are segments of Bitcoiners. So Hexa, what we are doing now is it's going to be single sig, whereas Keeper, it will be having multi sig wallets, etc., etc. So Keeper is intended for proper Bitcoiners who have done the work, who are convinced on the philosophy, who have significant investments, who understand the importance of storing their seed words properly, things like that. The basics are in place for them, and now they want to huddle in peace. So yeah, that's how we are looking at it.
I mean, it very much is a journey, right? It's a learning process for all of us, and it's very easy once you have a bit of knowledge to say you should be doing this, but doing that that's a massive gap from doing nothing to doing where the ideal. So it's just like, I like that any sats are better than no sats. Like, even if you're buying sats on Coinbase, which I wouldn't recommend, but even if you're doing that, it is a start. So
Yeah.
that's okay. But it's like, okay, well, but keep learning and then learn why that's not the best thing to do.
Well, you're constantly leveling up.
Yes.
In this whole journey.
You are.
And when you mention Coinbase, a very sad fact, I'm reminded of a very sad fact that so many people having, they've been exploring crypto from quite some time. Uh, I've been working with Hexa since 2020, and I have known people who were friends who had cryptocurrencies, and who have been dabbling in it for years, and still all their cryptos is on the exchanges. So the education level is so low that leave apart Bitcoin only, leave apart being Bitcoin only, they are having their cryptos lying around on exchanges. Not so much of noise, right? So much of noise. People are not knowing that they are supposed to shift it out, take it into self custody, and a lot of people have lost money as well. A lot of friends have lost money as well. So yeah.
Yeah. What's the general sentiment in India, sort of on the ground for Bitcoin?
So for Bitcoin, it is sad. I mean, I won't beat around the bush. For crypto, oh my God. So during the bull run, people made money. People made it rain.
Yeah.
So
So
all
it affects their
sorts of
perception,
shitcoin.
right?
Yep, all sorts of shitcoin. People made fuck you money in all
Uh,
sorts of shitcoin, and then the market tanked. Many people I know, including family. This is I'm speaking of people who are 55 plus, right? This is so interesting what money makes you do.
mm,
That cryptocurrency, who the haloed space, people figured out overnight. People figured out overnight. They know, okay, there is a specific app that I'm supposed to download. I'm supposed to do KYC, and I can start making money,
mm.
right?
Yep. I mean,
And how her, yeah, yeah,
no, all I was going to say was any fool can make money on any coin in a bull market, right? And the problem is with that, that's just a gambler with a system, so eventually that is going to hit you in the face and it's going to be horrible. But if you feel that if you get in somewhere on anything and the price goes up, the human reaction is to think that you're so clever and that you've worked something out that other people haven't worked out yet, and you keep doing more of that until unfortunately.
And the other thing is they've potentially got tangible benefits. So if they're buying their Lambos or they're buying a brand new house, and they say, "Yeah, I got this on fuckhead coin or whatever,"
Yeah.
then that flow-on effect is kind of there.
Well,
as
other people see that and they think, "Oh, this guy does not," because everybody's looking for most people are followers.
Yeah.
Right? They see somebody that's achieved something and they go, "Oh, he's achieved it, and that's how he's achieved it. I'm going to copy that." And that's why people, go onto Twitter. People with massive followings that are doing ridiculous things. You talking about, Richard Hart or something at Hex? Like the man has a lot of followers, and because people want to follow people that they believe to be doing something right.
and unfortunately, this happens within the family. So especially if I bring in the Indian perspective, massive families, right? Joint families, relatives, people going all over, visiting one another over weekends. 2021, the talk was cryptos, whether it be weddings or birthdays or children being born or people passing away. The talk was cryptos at family gatherings. That much I can tell you.
Yeah,
And
right.
unfortunately, cryptos,
Yeah,
not Bitcoin.
yes. So where is the talk now? What is?
Everything
Is it
has
just
died
gone
down.
quiet, or is it people
Yep.
are or people
Yep.
are obviously upset or yeah.
The talk has died down. Nobody is boasting of how many Matic they have and how many Luna they have and how
Right.
many Poodle coins they have, and now nobody is boasting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it goes into that.
Until the next bull run.
Well, that's the problem, right? Because it is true that like if we at some point this is all going to decouple, but we have no idea what that point is, right? And it could quite possibly go again, and I think it more.
I think it will.
I think it's likely to go again.
Different coins.
So if Bitcoin runs, it will pull everything else with it because the same hype cycle will begin all over again, and it will be true that there are other coins out there that because they are so illiquid will be able to fly, and again people will make a lot of fake wealth. And again, you'll be at a wedding, explain. Hopefully, still trying to tell the same old story to the same old uncle that he's invested in a stupid dog coin.
Seriously, I mean, it is bad. It is bad. And yeah, another. Okay, so moving on from this layer of discussion that we had, Bitcoin. So this is what is interesting, that everyone is convinced that Bitcoin is definitely going to the moon, right? It's not that people aren't aware, but people are looking for arbitrage.
Mm-hmm.
People want quick money.
Yeah.
People don't want to huddle. People don't want to have their fiat stashed away in Bitcoin and wait. That attitude of waiting is not there. At least that is not what I'm seeing over here in India.
That's why people buy lotto tickets.
It's exactly the same here. People are no different. We're Scottish Aussies. We're no different. We're exactly the same. But doing
We are the world. We are the children.
you can't.
I've got to
Get
sing
away
on
from it.
every pod.
Not for me, you don't. I don't know. We just can't get away from it. But actually doing the right thing in Bitcoin can be quite boring, right?
Yep, I heard you. I heard the previous pod, the one that you were where you were talking about loving the bear market. I heard that. I am right there with you. Boring DCA.
Yep.
It is, but so how do you bring that? How do we attempt, or you attempt to bring? Is it just education? Is it just the leveling up, or how do you find that the sort of excitement in Bitcoin? If the right thing to do is just save whatever it is you're going to be able to afford every day, and secure your Bitcoin.
I don't think the kick can be derived from just looking at the numbers go up, right? I'm reminded of Robert Kiyosaki's first book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and so Robert Kiyosaki, through Rich Dad, conveys to the child, who's come to the rich dad. The rich dad gives a profound message, and I read it in college, and it has that message has stuck around with me even 15 years later. Rich dad says, "Making money is boring."
Mm.
You know.
Yeah.
Making money is boring. It is arduous. There is nothing glamorous about it. It is just a bunch of basics, unglamorous basics, done every day over a prolonged period of time. That is what creates wealth. There is no kick in it. So
Yeah.
true for Bitcoin as well.
Okay, Abby. So we kind of went a little bit back to front, I guess, but that's no bad thing because I just jumped into Hexa. So you've obviously got this personal conviction now, like we do, and you're talking about everybody's finding this shitcoin journey and eventually finding the bit. So what is your own story? Like, how did you get to Hexa, and how has that all happened?
Ah, thank you for asking that question. Love telling the story. So allow me a moment of pride. Let me make a grand statement.
Please.
I I was a Bitcoiner even before Bitcoin was invented. So
Nice.
So was I, but yes.
Don't
So-
shit on him.
No, I love it. I love it. That's the best. That is the best. It's like you've been waiting for this thing, right?
seriously. So I have this conviction that uh, Bitcoiners who are proper hardcore Bitcoiners, they are Bitcoiners by nature, and that was their whole moral compass, their North Star. Bitcoin happened to them,
Hmm.
So they got a term for the way they look at life, the things that they believe in. Bitcoiners are there for the ethos that happen to be in Bitcoin. So yeah, that's where I am with that.
But
Mhm.
did you think getting into Bitcoin that it was going to be the thing that met with this ethos that you had, or did you, like me, get in for, oh my goodness, there's an opportunity, I'm going to get into I'm getting involved in this, and then go, oh my god, it's so much better than bigger and more impressive than I realized.
So definitely not for the just for the opportunity. Like I'm not enticed by the opportunity aspect of it as much. I'm not enticed by the fact that we are all still very early. That hey, there is an opportunity for us to rake in disproportionate amount of money. That frankly, that hasn't been the motivation, because very early on, I was introduced to startups and the world of startups and the struggles of CEOs, etc. This is in 2011, way before the world started talking about entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship became cool. So if you ask me in terms of opportunities, there are opportunities galore, right? There is no dearth of opportunities. Opportunities are abundant. Uh, So I don't look at Bitcoin that way. For me, what I am really passionate about, why I continue to be working in the Bitcoin ecosystem, why I wake up, why I enjoy showing up to work, is the hope that Bitcoin offers to the global South. You know, you look at you look at these two continents, South America and Africa. They deserve better.
Yes.
You know, so that motivates me. The people aspect of Bitcoin motivates me the most, rather than the tech aspect of it, which my developer friends tell me it's beautiful. I'm not a developer, so I won't be able to comment on that. But all my developer friends tell me that the Bitcoin protocol is beautiful. Uh, so not the tech, not just the money, but what it enables for people. Giving power back to the people. For me, that is why I am so gung-ho about Bitcoin.
Perfect response.
Yeah, it's at every juncture, it almost seems like we go back to, oh, it's actually better for this to be a ground up movement than a top down. Like when we start talking about whatever it might be, energy or running a node or I don't know, even like as you're talking about Africa, people in Africa that have access to a mobile phone but they don't have access to a PC, perhaps they'll just, or they may have access to a mobile signal but not a wired internet connection,
Yep.
so they can immediately jump ahead. So, but it just keeps throwing up opportunities for the little guy, which is
Yeah.
which is wonderful, right?
Yeah, exactly. Have you looked at what has been happening in Sri Lanka, for example?
Specifically, was relating to Bitcoin just now, or
No, no, not specifically Bitcoin.
politically?
The
Yeah.
country defaulted on its loans to that it owes the world.
Mm.
A
I saw,
country defaulting on payments is
I saw the storm. Was it the presidential palace? And they're all in the
Yeah.
pool and the showers, and that was pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's just the thing about that is though there's going to be people who find Bitcoin and it changes their whole world, but what percentage of say Sri Lankans are going to be able to find it, and what's the other percentage of Sri Lankans that are just going to be absolutely decimated by what's just happened to their country? And that's the thing that bothers me as well. Like yes, it's going to be a huge opportunity for whoever finds it. And it will change families' lifetimes, whole histories of a family tree, I guess. But the other ones that don't, I mean, just how do we get there? How do we?
and unfortunately the road goes through the crypto psychobabble. That is the problem. People would be told that, hey, this coin pumped 300% last week, might as well buy it, and people would buy it and end up burning their hands. That is the sad part of it.
Yeah. Because if you look at El Salvador, wonderful what's happened, but in terms of price, if you just correlate the price to the news, it's probably been kind of negative. I mean, it would have been negative anyway, in terms of Salvadorans using the US dollar because they were getting no benefit from the printing. But Bitcoin prices obviously dropped significantly since then too. So I'm looking forward to another bull cycle, not because the price is going to run, although obviously it's more fun to see that than it going the other way. But then you'll also get the really positive stories come out for people whose lives have been changed by that. And then it can be like little mini case study. Look, El Salvador can do it, so can you. And that's my hope anyway. I mean, maybe I'm just living a pipe dream, but that's my hope.
I live that dream too.
So do you see little pockets in India? Do you see little pockets of that kind of thing happening, or?
I'll come to that, but I want to go back on the question you posed to me earlier about how I got in, because I want to shill
Yes,
a book.
excuse me.
This is I no. I mean, I want to shill Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand's book, the thick door stopper, right?
Yeah.
So
I've actually got it on my bedside table right now. Tiny little words, tiny,
the tiniest print ever. 1,186 pages. What a book!
Yeah.
What a book!
So how did you find that?
So in India, I mean, we speak good English. I mean, we don't have those issues of not having access to great books, and the internet is fine enough. So yeah, I know, unfortunately, what gets projected in the West are our snake charmers. We are a country that has a lot more to offer than just snake charmers, and being the back office of the whole world's IT department. You know?
No, I was sorry. Yeah, excuse me. That sounded. I came across wrong. So I just mean, how did you come across the book in the first place? Like was it recommended to you, or?
It was recommended to me by a bookseller. So fortunately, very fortunately for me, this is one of those things that happens to you. You get lucky. So I had an uncle who was extremely into reading books. So he introduced me to books at a very young age. In fourth grade, fifth grade, I was reading Famous Five, Enid Blyton.
Okay.
So I started my reading journey with Enid Blyton. So yeah, was fortunate enough to discover books early on. Was fortunate enough to transition into heavy duty hardcore books like Atlas Shrugged, non-fiction books pretty early on. So I used to frequent a bookstore, and he knew that I could take it, take the harder ones. So then, fortunately, very fortunately, he suggested Atlas Shrugged. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So I mean, how much have you read it? How in are you?
Oh, I'm probably about just. I'm probably. Yeah, I'm nearly halfway. Let's say.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's
I thought
been
you were going to say two pages.
No, but it's been it's good, but I'm not a good reader at all, and I have to repeat and repeat and repeat. So I'm not quick at it. I'm enjoying
So
it, but
so that John Galt line must have been built by now.
yes.
Yes, right. I won't speak beyond that. I was certain enough that that would have happened.
There actually
Uh,
is a Bitcoin John Galt on Twitter. I think somebody.
I don't. Spoiler alert! I haven't read it.
Oh, excuse me. Right.
I'll borrow it after
no, no.
next year after you
We
finish it.
we haven't spoiled it a lot for you. Trust me. I spoke that out with sensitivity. So that John Galt line being built is not necessarily any kind of spoiler. You won't be missing out on.
Yeah.
But I am excited for you. I am excited for you to go deeper, go further. There's a lot that happens. So Hank Radon represents, although he's a businessman, but Hank Radon, represents the common masses. So I was blown away by the time I was done. Uh, I was like, "Yep, this is the truth. This is the truth."
Did you read that after you got into Bitcoin though, or before?
No. I read it in college. Bitcoin wasn't invented back then.
Oh wow. Oh, there you go. So there's a little bit of a kind of preemptive thing before Bitcoin for you.
And did the book confirm to you what you believed, you sort of felt yourself, or did the book change the way you felt about how things should be?
It made sense. I won't be able to put it that way, because I was young. I'm like what, 17, 18 years old when I read it. So my belief systems haven't formed yet by that time. But it made sense to me at a commonsensical level that yeah, okay, we are seeing this happen. So, and it could happen. It could happen. What is that? I won't venture that deep. I'll let the both of you discover. But yeah, it made
I'll have
sense.
to give
It
it a
made so much sense.
I'm a
It
librarian.
is worth.
I'm a librarian.
It is worth the slog. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm not a big reader myself. I've actually got June. I don't know if you're a sci-fi guy at all, but I knew the movie was coming out, so I've got June, and it's literally I'm a third of the way through it, and I haven't read it anymore for probably 3 months, and it's now on Netflix, and I just keep seeing it, and I want to watch the damn movie, but I haven't done the book. So maybe I'll watch it, and then I'll go to Ayn Rand.
Don't go for the Atlas Shrugged movies, huh? They've not done justice to the book at all.
Yeah, no. I will do the book.
The slog is worth it. The slog is worth it, for sure. But for you guys, it will be slightly anticlimactic because uh, the book. I think it came out in what 47 or 57 something.
Mm.
Uh, it 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 calls moves by business people, by governments, things like that. So the reason it would be slightly anticlimactic for you is you're already seeing a lot many things happen that Ayn Rand absolutely called 70, 75 odd years early. But
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely worth it.
Yeah, cool.
It's a bit like
So
sorry, please go on.
yeah, no, go on, please.
I was just going to say it was a bit like Saifuddin's book for me as well. I read it after becoming a Bitcoiner, and I really wish I'd read it like
First.
5-10 years earlier because it had been so transformative then. But I mean, a lot of the stuff I sort of understood by that
You
stage.
already knew.
Well, yeah, I don't mean that to, like, I'm, I'd been through the learning but I'd done it the harder way. I'd like had to go on a snake journey rather than just reading a book and going, oh yeah, that's the information I needed. But it is a wonderful book. But yeah. So and the connection between you and BitHyve or Hexa, how did that happen? And like, what is the team at Hexa as well? Like, who are you, and how many people are they, and where are you all?
We are 15 people. I mean, the team is mostly Indian. We've got one Pakistani guy, and advisors and investors are from the West. One gentleman is based in Singapore, Vikash Purana. And then Matt Odell happens to be an advisor to us. Corey happens to be an advisor to us from Swan, Corey
Yep.
Clipston. And please excuse, this is not me name dropping.
No, it's great. But what we'll do is I'll link all these people in the show notes or something for anybody who doesn't know who it is. But yes, we know who that is.
Yeah. So we are blessed to have fantastic Bitcoiners guide us, direct us, help us with the hard questions because there aren't precedents. Bitcoin is still very new, so setting hypotheses and assumptions, that itself takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of thinking, takes a little bit of going back and forth. Testing them takes time. So we are absolutely fortunate and blessed to have Oleg, Matt, Corey, Evan from Zeus, Zeus Wallet. So a fantastic roster of advisors.
What does an advisor do? Like, you've got an Odell or a Corey. Like, what level of involvement do they have? Is it just like an email say, hey, we're thinking about this feature, or what do you think about this, or can you test that? Like, what's the actual thing there?
Both.
Okay.
From the things that you've just mentioned, both of them. That we come up with hypotheses. We come up with a few basic user flows, user journeys. We run it by them. They give us feedback on that. They give us their gut feels on it. We develop it, and then we look at it from the privacy perspective of things. We look at usability, especially the usability versus the privacy is one of the most vexing things that we, at least us as a company, we've had to struggle through. Like, for example, it is very easy to back up your wallet on cloud, right?
Yeah.
But that's you literally putting your Bitcoin on the cloud and on in the domain of Google and Apple. So it was we went through a journey of deciding that, hey, we don't want to do cloud backup anymore, and then that we want to follow the industry standards of users having to write down seed words. So that
Yep.
was a whole journey. So
Yep.
things like these. So that is where they advise and obviously test and once they are happy, once they are convinced, and we go back and forth a lot. There's a lot of very very minute feedback that we receive from all of them.
Yeah, cool.
Are you remote? I mean, you're saying mostly India, but are you
100%. No, we don't have an office.
Yep.
We are 100% remote. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's go off on a different tangent then. Bitcoin for India, the conference. You're involved with that?
Yes.
Could you tell people what that is and who's running it and what kind of event you think it's going to, you hope it to be, and when it is, where it is?
Happy to. So Bitcoin for India, it started out with with a yearning that Bitcoiners have, especially over here in India. Because in the US it's different, right? There are a lot of Bitcoiners. People, definitely there would be meetups happening, etc. So people are in touch. This is so Bitcoin for India started off as an initiative to connect Indian Bitcoiners, because so I was heavily, up to my eyes into Hexa and product development and things like that, and not as in the code aspect of things, but yeah, features, testing the features, reaching out to people, getting feedback, etc. The resounding lament that people used to have is that there aren't many Bitcoiners in India. There aren't many Bitcoiners in India. So we started this initiative. We held a meetup. A lot of crypto people turned up, but a few Bitcoiners showed up as well. So that is when all of them realized that, hey, I'm not the only one.
Mm.
Imagine a country of 1.2 billion people and a Bitcoiner having to think that, I may be the only one in this
Yeah.
country, in the subcontinent. That
Yes.
is huge, right? So it was a ray of hope for a lot of Bitcoiners to actually come face to face with someone who shares their culture. You don't have to introduce yourself or what your profession is, etc., etc. Are you a Bitcoiner? Yes, I'm a Bitcoiner. Boom, done. What is the project that you're working on? Right? it,
Yeah, it's good.
it's like, the book you read speaks a lot about you as a person, rather than you having to, let someone know that this is who I am, this is what I understand, this is where I'm coming from, these are my moral values, etc., etc. So are you a Bitcoiner? Yes, that means something,
Yeah.
right? So we were able to connect people at the first meetup. So we did one more meetup in a different city. Again, a lot of crypto people showed up, but a few Bitcoiners showed up. So that started snowballing. So that started snowballing, and now we are planning a conference in the month of November. It's in Goa. It's a very very scenic beach state rather. It's a small tiny state, just has two cities, and yeah, loved by backpackers. That's a backpackers heaven, like Tulum or Bali.
Yeah.
That kind of a vibe. So yeah, a lot many speakers would be at Pacific Bitcoin in the US, or adopting Bitcoin. So, but yes, we will be having a couple of really really good speakers joining us remotely. Odell would be joining us remotely. Stefan would be joining us remotely. Bunch of people traveling. We have someone from Ibex Mercado also traveling. Carlino, I don't know if you know him.
From
Shout
Ibex
out to
Mercado.
yep,
Ibex
yep,
Mercado.
yep.
No, I know the project, but I don't know the people.
Yeah.
So
So
are
so
you?
Kali, yeah, yeah. Go
So
ahead.
you're trying to bring in a few international speakers as well as Indian speakers as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Be, be,
Definitely.
because they have the clout, or because they come with a sort of presence, or they come with a knowledge or a respect that people have developed over the online or other conferences, or because you think that's necessary for what would I say, the just the image of the conference, or
This is so all of those things in proportions, right? So one is these people are loved, right? Like Odell, people love what he stands for. The way Marty speaks, people love what he speaks about. Marty isn't coming, by the way, but yeah, I mean, who doesn't love PFTC, right?
come on, Marty,
So
get to India.
Yeah, Marty, you
Come on,
dumb
Marty.
prick. Off you go.
yeah, yeah, would be lovely. Woohoo! Yeah. So who doesn't love the both of them, right? So it is definitely all those things that you just mentioned. But yes, I mean, people who the ecosystem trusts. Uh, why not have them over, right?
Mm.
People who the system trusts, people who are well versed with the basics, people who already have a connection. So yeah,
But
some known faces, some unknown faces.
but if it gets a some pleb somewhere to actually attend, then why not have an Odell or somebody as well? You know?
Yeah, draw card or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
draw card. Yeah, that's right. That's really exciting, mate.
Yeah, looking forward. We are all excited over here because something a Bitcoin only conference, to the best of my knowledge, hasn't happened yet. So yeah, absolutely excited
Even the
for
fact
the
of just
scale
being
and
involved in the first Bitcoin conference, if you're aware of in India, that's great, right? You'll always be able to look back and say, I was there.
my job satisfaction is through the roof.
That's wonderful.
That's why you're smiling
I
and laughing so much, mate.
I don't speak with my bosses about pay raises and promotions and all those. I mean, the job satisfaction itself is insane. Every day is a new day. You're interacting with very, very interesting Bitcoiners. So testing flows out, imagining features, researching stuff in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Every day is a new day. So
I mean, you're
yeah,
living a lot of Bitcoiners' dreams, mate. There's so many of us out there that are going to be working in Bitcoin, and
Yeah.
we're just giving every second hour of the day away from our work to do it. But it must be great to be doing it as a full time.
God has been kind. I mean, yeah, just God has been kind. I cannot put it any other way. So, and yeah, the fact is that the mind, body, soul, spirit aligns uh, on these values that Bitcoin offers. The Bitcoin ethos. I feel very fortunate that okay, I crossed paths with Bitcoin, with Anand, with the fantastic team at Hexa. So just destiny, right? Destiny. Sometimes destiny takes you, to things that align with you. So
Abby, anything where you can see a better tomorrow than is today, like a positive future. How can you not be excited by that? And I think most
yeah,
Bitcoiners just can see it's going to be better. We can see the struggles just now, and we can see how that's going to be difficult for some of our friends, our family, even for ourselves in some ways too. But you can see the positive down the track, which is I think that for people who have not yet been exposed to Bitcoin, and living in today's world, the level of negativity must be really difficult to handle.
yep.
Well, you know what? Actually, it's quite refreshing, Abby, to have you on, because the last couple of pods that we've done have been depressing as shit.
Yeah, because we've been talking on the other side of it, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, this has been a fun one, mate.
Yeah, I generally, so okay. So I as a person have a lot of cynicism, at the same time a lot of optimism. I won't say I have pessimism. I mean, yeah, I mean, if I can choose to be an optimist, a cynical optimist, why be a pessimist, right? Okay, question everything, be cautious, don't do not imagine that a utopia is possible. Bitcoin doesn't fix human greed, that is for sure. Bitcoin
Mm.
fixes a lot many things, but Bitcoin doesn't fix ego. Bitcoin doesn't fix greed. Uh, so people will be people. People would be opportunists, and there will always be really good people, and there would be some who are spoil sports, unfortunately. So one could try to facilitate achieving a balance. If we as Bitcoiners are able to contribute to the positive aspect of things, in my opinion, that's a life well lived. That's all we can do, right? What can we do beyond that?
Yeah. All right.
Can't say any better than that.
I think that's a great spot to end the pod, mate. Thank you so much for
Just have a
being
shout
on.
out to. Can you just send us to places that might be beneficial for people if they are either Indian that want to attend, or any from anywhere, I guess, that wants to attend Bitcoin for India, where people would find Hexa Wallet and where they would find yourself?
Do you want me to mention it now, or do you put it in the show notes and I share it
Tell
with
us
you?
now.
Do it now. Yeah.
We'll do both.
Yeah.
Okay, so so the website is Bitcoin for the numeral 4 bitcoin4india.org. That website has everything on the meetups that we do, the conference that we are planning. My own Twitter handle is Abhilash Nair 11, 11 because I made it in that year. So my Twitter is a bit
Flex.
old. So and Hexa is Hexa Wallet. So yeah, that's where we are. But I would love to close this out. It would be arrogant on my part if I only speak about, you know, mm, a very small touch points of my own, and I do not, you know, give shout outs to the fantastic people who have really, you know, taken up the cudgels to go about conducting meetups in different cities. So there are a lot many people who have been doing amazing work. So this is Bitcoin for India. I'm literally a mere pleb. I'm, you know, I do not want to come across as the patrician over here for sure. I am very much a plebeian, just like many others. So a bunch of people, if you wouldn't mind, I would love to shout out. And
Please.
I've seen that you do in your Twitter threads, you do call outs. So if you could do call outs, I would deeply appreciate it.
We're
So
happy to go for it. Give them a shout.
so one is Rahul Chaudhary, Sambuddha is there in Goa. Rahul has been doing amazing work in orange pilling people in Mumbai, the financial capital of the country. Sam has been doing very well in Goa. Rajarshri Maitra, a very dear friend of mine, proper Bitcoiner, love him to bits. He has been at it from a very long time. Civil engineer turned Bitcoiner. So definitely recommend getting Raj onto your pod for sure. I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time with Raj. Uh, Sachin has been doing amazingly well in Bangalore. Bangalore is the IT hub of India. I'm sure you've heard of the city.
Yep.
That's where all the IT companies are based. So Sachin has been doing phenomenally well. Very meticulously organizing meetups in Bangalore. We've got someone named Prince, and he has been doing amazing in organizing Bitcoin meetups in the northern parts of the country. So Sai, there is Sai, there is Sarvanan way down south who have been hustling themselves. So and these are the people. There is Anuj as well. Anuj in the relatively western parts of the country. So I'm afraid of missing out on.
I was going to
people,
say you're going to miss
frankly.
someone. You're gonna miss someone.
Because I
So-
love them. These people. Uh, I would all glory to them. I would love for them to, you know, receive the spotlight. It is so very well deserved. Such hardworking plebs, single point agenda, orange pilling people, uh, pouring their heart and soul into it. Researching, guiding people, staying awake at 2 o'clock in the night, 4 o'clock in the night, just going back and forth with people, attending spaces, so much. All these people that I've mentioned over here, it is all these people who have actually, these are the people who have held up Bitcoin for India. And so can't shout them out enough, and can't be appreciative of them enough. Anant is there, Prasad is there from our own company. So Anant and Prasad are, Anant is the CEO of Hexa, Prasad is the CEO of Hexa. So all these people.
All right, mate. You've just doubled Hatz's work for the show notes.
more than happy.
No,
to do that.
I'll draft it out for you. I'm very happy.
Do that. But more than happy. I hope you guys get the chance to get together and meet space as well, because it's wonderful when you get together with some of these Bitcoiners, when you can just sit in a room and just immediately know they're on the same page, and you can just enjoy your day.
No one wants to go home. A couple
No,
of beers, a bit of pizza, whatever cheesy, and boom, it's 3 days, and people are still going full power. People,
Right,
you sit two Bitcoiners together, the gossip never ends.
exactly right, mate. Thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time, and I hope you, as I say, I hope the event is a raging success, and we look forward to hearing all about it.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
This has been great. Thank you so much for having me. This has been an absolute pleasure chatting with you guys.
Oh, it's same for us,
Absolutely
buddy.
appreciate it.
Cheers,
Thank you so much. Cheers. Yeah.